Let us talk about the alluvial channels. The thing that we were discussing. We'll be starting with this part. So Aditya, we have already covered, so it is my suggestion that go through that part that has been already covered. Do not leave. If you are not revising, you are simply not allowing yourself to succeed. Okay? Now, अब इसमें alluvial channel based on the patterns. A lot more patterns will be studying in India physical. But in geomorphology, I'll be talking about this thing from the perspective of some of the thinkers. ठीक है कि उन लोगों ने क्या कहा है? It is our focus. So the scheme by Leopold and Madoc. Okay. The thing that Leopold and Madoc said, बहुत ही simple concepts हैं. They have given some information how it happens, and it was modified. This thing was modified by Morisawa. Okay. He made changes into the suggestion made by Leopold and Madoc. So Morisawa will be looking at, and Schum also gave one of his interpretations how this is happening. Okay. So the third thing that we'll be looking at is the scheme by Schum. Okay. So we'll be looking at these three perspectives. हाँ सुमन बेटा, कल मैंने रीड करने के लिए कहा था, तो वहाँ अगर नहीं समझ में आया तो अभी आई होप आप लोग समझ गए होंगे. बट here we'll be looking at very simple perspectives. I just wanted you to see that thing so that you'll understand that there are lot many other things beyond this what we'll be discussing. Okay, so Leopold and Madoc, they said that channel patterns can be identified by sinuosity index. Okay, so they talked about sinuosity index. Sinuosity is like something like meandering. Okay, so how much a river can meander, they talked in this perspective. Sinuosity index, they talked about sinuosity index. Okay, and they said that based on the value of the sinuosity index, we can know ki what type of stream is there. Okay, so in order to get the sinuosity index, they said that we need to divide the channel length by valley length. So as per them, SI is channel length, the total length of the river divided by the valley length. ठीक है, वैली कितनी बड़ी है और उस पर चैनल कैसा है. अगर मान लीजिए वैली, दिस इज अ वैली. Okay, this is, let's suppose that this is some valley and here some streams are moving. This is going straight, some of it is going like this, some may be more sinuous. Okay, so the length of the valley where it is traveling प्लस द लेंथ ऑफ द चैनल. अब लेंथ ऑफ द चैनल क्या है? वैली लेंथ से इस केस में ज्यादा है, इट इज मोर. ओके, बट हियर वी कैन से दैट इट इज ऑलमोस्ट सेम. सो व्हेन वी डिवाइड दिस थिंग, दे सेड दैट वी कैन गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ SI and based on that we can understand ki what exactly is the pattern or the of the channel. Okay, but they did not exactly use these terms. इन्होंने क्या है इतने आसान टर्म यूज नहीं किए. यूजुअली हम देखते हैं कि it is easy to understand channel length, valley length. Okay, a very good morning Abni beta. But they use the term that is line joining midpoints of crossover of the river. Okay, line joining midpoints of crossover of the river. Okay, this is the thing that अब ये line joining midpoints of the crossover of the river. If you look at this whole thing, maybe it will be difficult to understand what exactly it is. So it means channel length. Okay, so I used the easier terms divided by the valley length. For valley length, they said line joining midpoints of crossover of the channel. Line joining midpoints of crossover of the channel. Okay, so this is something that they gave, and if you look in the books, it is usually represented as LC divided by VC. ठीक है, length of channel divided by valley length. Okay, तो ये इसमें से अगर कुछ भी दिखाई देता है, you have to understand that they are talking about channel length and valley length. Okay. And based on this, they said that if they made certain calculations, वो आपको याद रखने होंगे. Okay, they said that if the value of SI is less than 1.05, okay, 1.5 नहीं है, 1.05 है. Okay, if the index value is less than 1.05, then it means that it is a straight channel. Okay, it is moving straight. If the value is between 1.5 and 1.05, if SI between 1.5 to 1.05, then it is a sinus channel. ठीक है, इसका मतलब है कि उसमें कुछ साइनोसिटी दिखाई देगी. It will not be straight. By sinus they meant not be straight. But if the SI is more than 1.5, it means that the meandering will be visible, quite visible meanders. ठीक है, बहुत सारी meandering कब होगी, जब 1.5 से ज्यादा हो जाएगी वैल्यू. If SI value is more than 1.5, then you can observe the meanders yourself. Between 1.05 to 1.5, maybe we'll have to measure the things. वो बहुत clearly visible नहीं होगा हमारे लिए. Okay, because in mountainous areas also some sinuosity is visible, but we always say that it is going straight. Okay, because it is usually following the slope only. तो slope की वजह से मुड़ती है, ना कि sediment deposition की वजह से sinus tendencies आती है. Okay, so this is something that you are supposed to remember. ये आपको याद करने होंगे. Okay, you cannot change these values, you will have to remember these. Okay, so this is something that Leopold and Maddox had suggested. And if we talk about Morisawa, okay, so Morisawa said that there has to be certain changes in this scheme because it fails to explain everything. यहाँ क्या है, आप एक रिवर के बारे में बता रहे हैं, you are not talking about the braided channels. अगर उसके बहुत सारे branches हो जाएं, if there are a lot of branches, then how will understand about the patterns and the channels? So Morisawa added braided channels. ठीक है. So Morisawa. Okay. So if there are a lot of branches, then how will understand about the patterns and the channels? So Morisawa added braided channels. ठीक है. So Morisawa. Okay. For him, the river will have certain distributaries. ठीक है. So he considered that there are going to be distributaries. Okay. And these distributaries, he considered the width as A, B, C, and D. Okay. We are representing the width of the channel. This is the main channel. Okay. So he said that he gave two possibilities. Okay. He talked about two possibilities. Okay. Morisawa talked about two possibilities. The very first possibility is a braided channel. ठीक है. इसे इन्होंने क्या कहा? ब्रेडेड चैनल का. Okay. And he said that for a braided channel, okay, the width of the channel, अगर हम width of the channel की बात करें, W से हम represent कर रहे हैं width of the channel. Okay. The whole width of the channel is this, यहाँ इसे W मानते हैं. So if the value of W is greater than, if the braided channel का, okay, and he said that for a braided channel, okay, the width of the channel, अगर हम width of the channel की बात करें, W से हम represent कर रहे हैं width of the channel, okay, the whole width of the channel is this, यहाँ इसे W मानते हैं. So if the value of W is greater than A plus B plus C plus D, then it will be a braided channel, else it is anatomosing channel, okay. The anatomosing channel. अभी ये क्या है मैं समझाऊंगा. Braiding is simply it is getting distributed. This is braiding. यहाँ क्या है, braiding का simple मतलब क्या है, it is getting distributed, okay. Anatomosing, the width of the main channel, okay, is less than A plus B plus C plus D, okay. So anatomosing simply means that they have ana-branching, okay. And when we call something as showing ana-branching, it means that, let us suppose this is the main stream which is coming from here and it gets distributed, okay, ये distribute होती है, but it will have a tendency to meet the main channel again. All of them will meet again, okay. So बीच में क्या है, there will be land, but they are going to meet again, ठीक है. So such channels, so offshoots of the streams which rejoin the main channel or its tributary channel. So ana-branching is the offshoot of the main channel that rejoins the main stream or another tributary of the main stream. Okay, so in this condition, even when there is branching, okay, branching hogi, but it will form an island and again it will meet, or maybe it will meet some other tributary, but this is going to again get towards the main stream, okay. So very simple concept, nothing much complicated. So everybody is clear with this? He said that whenever there is braided channel, okay, braided channels have certain characteristics, okay. Braided channels, he said that have certain characteristics. It will be prone to flooding. As the branching out is not consistent and not always same. इनका path नहीं बना है, like you see in the Kosi River, okay. So the thing that Morisawa talked about, if there is a branching which is not going to meet itself, ठीक है, वो अपने आप को फिर से नहीं मिलने वाली है. इसका मतलब है कि it will be prone to flooding because the distributaries will not be permanent and consistent. Okay, this was observation which was made by Morikawa. ये हमारा observation नहीं है, ये Morikawa ने कहा है. ठीक है. Now, if we talk about the braided channel, they may also form some islands, but they will erode it again. Okay, so islands को erode करते हुए जाएगी, even if the braiding is there. But when it comes to the anatomosing channel, okay, with the ana branching, they are more consistent. Okay, they are relatively more permanent and consistent. And we are talking about this thing from the perspective of geological time period. आपके लाइफ टाइम की बात नहीं हो रही है. Okay, over a longer period of time, this is going to be the thing that he observed. Okay, now we'll talk about the scheme by Hume. Okay, so he classified the channels into 3 types based on the sediment load. Classified the channels based on sediment load. ठीक है, तो यहां क्या है कि हाउ मच सेडिमेंट इट इज कैरिंग इज द प्राइमरी क्राइटेरिया. ओके, सेडिमेंट लोड इज द प्राइमरी क्राइटेरिया फॉर शो. ओके, सो हिज 3 टाइप्स में फर्स्ट वन इज बेड लोड type. Okay, he called it as bed load type. Second one he called as suspended load type. And the third one was called by him as mixed load type. Okay, these 3 things he talked about. So bed load type, तो बेड लोड का मतलब क्या है? बेड है और लोड है. लोड किस चीज का है? सेडिमेंट का है. तो इफ द रिवर इज डिपॉजिटिंग द सेडिमेंट in its bed, then that type of channel is bed load type. Okay, so here the river deposits, the river or channel deposits the load or sediment on its bed. ठीक है, जो रिवर का सरफेस है वहां पे ये डिपॉजिट करते हुए जाती है. इट मूव्स फॉरवर्ड डिपॉजिटिंग ऑल द सेडिमेंट दैट इज देयर. ओके, इसका मतलब क्या है? दीज आर द टाइप्स ऑफ चैनल्स which will not so much deposition in the valley. Okay, यानी फ्लडिंग बहुत ज्यादा नहीं हो रही है, इसलिए बगल वाली वैलीज में डिपोजिशन नहीं हो रहा है. ये अपने बेड पे ही ज्यादा डिपॉजिट कर रही है. मोस्ट ऑफ द silt or sediment that it is carrying, it is depositing on its bed only. We call this as bed load type. Okay, so this channel will not see much valley deepening as well. क्योंकि अगर मान लीजिए कि ये V shaped भी है और यहीं पे ये मटेरियल जमा कर दे रही है, So the river will find it difficult to make it deeper. Okay, so here the valley deepening is not happening much. ये कौन सी स्टेज का चैनल है जहां वैली डीपनिंग बहुत नहीं हो सकती है, बिकॉज इट इज डिपॉजिटिंग एवरीथिंग ऑन द बेड ओनली, यानी कि चैनल का जो डेप्थ है वो बढ़ नहीं रहा है, इनफैक्ट कभी कभी कम हो सकता है. और ओके, so when after a certain period of time what will happen, if this sediment load is getting deposited here, so water will rise and rise and rise. So after certain period, this river is the river which will overflow. Okay, so flood waters will be there, but most of the sediment load will be here. So later stages, such rivers become prone to flooding. Such rivers become prone to flooding. यहाँ बहुत सारे फ्लड दिखाई देंगे आपको. Okay, it means that this is a channel which has entered some plain area. वैसी जगहों पे ही आपको ये चीज दिखाई देगी. Okay, so suspended load. अब suspended का मतलब क्या है? The load is into the water, it is suspended. It means that it is not being deposited. ये क्या है? Suspended है. It is not deposited on the bed. It is in the water. The sediment is mixed in the water. Okay, and it is flowing with the water. So it is suspended load. They do not deposit. The sediment on the river bed. Okay, so tell me at which stage this thing happens. Aditya, Karisma, Avni, Ravikant, everyone, tell me what is the stage when you will experience this. Which course? यूथफुल में होगा, द अपर कोर्स, मैच्योर में होगा, या फिर ओल्ड स्टेज में होगा? विच इज द स्टेज व्हेन यू विल सी दिस सस्पेंडेड लोड टाइप? द एनर्जी दैट इज विद इन द रिवर, द काइनेटिक एनर्जी, इट हैज टू बी वेरी हाई in order to suspend some heavy material, the sediment that is in the water. तो किस स्टेज में होगा? यंग स्टेज में. वेरी गुड के, वंडरफुल. Okay, so this is here the down cutting is more active. The river is actively down cutting. Okay, and down cutting actively कब होता है? In the upper and higher course of the river. River is actively down cutting, and this type of channel is visible in the upper course. That is youthful stage. Okay, that is the youthful stage. Okay, हाँ अपनी बेटा डाउन कटिंग, तो दैट इज अपर कोर्स में ही हम एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं. अब मिक्स्ड लोड टाइप का क्या मतलब है? बोथ द थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग. Okay, this is the channel where suspended sediment plus the deposition on the bed, both are happening. Okay, so here the channel has both the sediment load suspended sediment load suspended sediment load as well as the channel deposits the sediment load on bed. This is something that all of you know. Okay, तो अगर आपको स्टेजेस की बात करने रहे, सो वैली डीपनिंग प्लस वैली वाइडनिंग ये कहां पे होता है? ये बोथ द थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग. ओके, बिकॉज सस्पेंडेड लोड भी है. सो वैली डीपनिंग एंड वैली वाइडनिंग. Both can occur simultaneously. Okay, तो ये कहां पे होगा? द अर्ली पार्ट ऑफ द मेच्योर स्टेज. ठीक है, जब यूथ से नीचे जस्ट उतर रही होती है. सो इट इज पॉसिबल इन द अर्ली पार्ट ऑफ द मेच्योर स्टेज. सिर्फ एक ही पार्ट में ये दिखाई दे सकता है. Because the river is coming up with the sedimented load and suddenly a flatter surface is there. So it deposits but force from the back. Okay, this is the mountain and now it is entering the plains. So this is this part of the channel. जब यहाँ उतर रही होती है तो it will deposit plus the force of the river from here this much. It will also have suspended load. So both the actions are visible here, but in the early part. हाँ, आदित्य mature में ही होगा. Youthful to mature enter करते समय. Okay. So I hope everybody is clear with this as well. Okay.